So for the first question here, okay, so all you need to do is to minus it off the earnings with those that he's not required to pay tax. So 18,900 minus 5,005 multiplied by 24%, you will get 3,216 as the tax paid. Calculate how much Mukhtar earned each month after tax has been paid. So 18,900 is the total income for the entire years. Okay, divide by 12 minus 3,216 divided by 12. So your final result is to be 1,307. So this year, the Mukhtar's earning increased. So 19,750.5 minus the original of 18,900 divide by 18,900 multiply by 100 to convert it into percentage. So this will get you 4.5%. Okay, so now account A and account B, as mentioned by the question, account A is simple. Okay, so to find how much it is worth, so they are looking for value of investment. So for the simple interest one, after calculating the interest, you are required to add the capital of 1,500 back. So your total will be 1,684.5. Whereas for compound, simply takes 1,500 multiply 103.3% to the power of 3 will get you 1,653.45. The difference here will be 31.05. Okay, and the answer will be account A by $31.05. Question 2, okay, calculate angle DBC. So the angle itself, 1.8 will qualify as its opposite and 2.4 is its adjacent. So angle DBC equals to tangent inverse 1.8 over 2.4. This will get you 36.9 degree after rounding it to 3 significant figures. For you to calculate BD, okay, we will be using Pythagoras theorem, okay, because it's a right angle triangle over there. So square root of 2.4 square plus 1.8 square will get you 3. So part 2, as mentioned by the question, cosine rule is being used. So angle ABD equals to cosine inverse 6.46 square plus 3 square minus 8.6 square over 2 times 6.46 times 3. So your final results after rounding it to 3 significant figures will be 127. If you didn't do so and took 2 decimal, your answer will be 126.82. The ramp is a prism of width 4 meters. So basically what I did was to calculate the total area first using half AB sine C and half times base times height. Multiply the entire results by 4 to reach to 39.7 meter cube as the final answer. Question 3a. What I did was to change the denominator into 10. So for the first fraction over there at the front, I multiplied both the numerator and denominator by 5, and I multiplied 2 to the second fraction over there. So your final results after the calculation will actually be 4x minus 7 over 10. Part B, expand the 2x minus 3, okay, then minus 3x squared plus 12x. So your final results after the calculation will be x squared plus 9. Section C number 1, pretty straightforward, just use factorizing. So we'll get 2x minus 1 and x plus 3. But for the last part, simplify. So transfer your answer from C number 1 and change the numerator into 2 bracket x squared minus 9. So the x squared minus 9 over here is actually using the a squared minus b squared formula, which will get you x plus 3x minus 3. So the x plus 3 is repeating, so your final value of this answer will be 2x minus 1 over 2 bracket x minus 3. Question 4. Okay, so the volume of the wedges of cheese is 90 cm cubed. Okay, so 42 over 360 times pi times 8 squared. This will be calculating one single slice. And the height here is a unknown. Okay, so multiply it by h equals to 90. After you run the calculation, you should get 3.84 as the height. Okay, calculate the surface area, right? So there's top and bottom for the sector of 42 degree, okay, and 2 slices of rectangular shape and 1 of the curvy shape. So I've listed down the details of the calculation. The trickier one will actually be the curve AB side. So the height is 3.84, 42 times 360 times 2 pi r, because we are using the arc length. Okay, so after adding everything up and corrected to 3 significant figures, you will get 131 cm square as the answer. Okay, part B, a mathematically similar wedges of cheese has a volume of 22.5 cm cubed. So we'll be using cube root, okay, because the question mentioned about volume. So cube root of 90 over 3.84 equals to cube root of 22.5 over the height of these new wedges. So after you run the calculation, your answer is to be corrected to 2.42 cm. Question 5 part A, pretty straightforward. Substitute -2, -0.5 and 0.5 into the position. You should get your value of y as 7, 11.5 and 4.5 respectively. So plot down all the curves and this is how it looks like. So at question C number 1, as you can see, the 2 over x squared minus 1 over x minus 3x is actually the original equation, which means they are looking for the value of x when y equals to 0. So when y equals to 0, the interception point will actually be 0.75. Whereby for C number 2, the excess variables for this is the -7.5. So by shifting this -7.5 to the other side, you will get your original equation, okay, which is y equals to 7.5. So at 7.5, there's actually 3 intersection points, okay, which is -2.2, -0.75, 0.45 for this. So do take note that your answer may vary from mine because your graph may not look exactly the same as mine. So no worries if your answer is slightly different because there's an acceptable range for this particular section. Okay, so by drawing a suitable line on the graph and solve the equation. So this one will be y equals to 10 minus 3x. Okay, I set up 2 random points. One is when x equals to 3, my y will be 1. When my x equals to 1, my y will be 7. So by drawing down the line, I identified the intersection point, which is negative 0.5 and 0.45. So same rules apply here. If your answer is slightly different from mine, it is totally fine, as long as it is within the range. Okay, so for part number 2, okay, what I did here was to make their denominators the same. Okay, I get rid of the negative 3x to the other side. Okay, then I combine the value the left hand side into the same. So 2 minus x over x squared equals to 10. Run the calculation, rearrange it, then you will get a equals to 10, b is 1, c is negative 2. Question 6. Keyword here is do not replace it. So for you to get L followed by a G, it is 1 over 11 multiplied by 1 over 10. So your final answer, 1 over 110. Letter E twice. So do take note that at the second draw, both the numerator and denominator will decrease. So 3 over 11 times 2 over 10 will get you 6 over 110. The simplest term of 6 over 110 will be 3 over 55. So both letters that is the same, there will only be 2 scenarios for this to happen. It's either both is E or both is N. Both is E, the probability of it is 3 over 55 as we identified in section 2. Whereby for both is N, it will be 2 over 11 multiplied by 1 over 10. So your final answer will be 4 over 55. Question 6 part B number 1. Okay, Pretty now picks 3 cards at random, find all 3 as the same. So for all 3 to be the same, only one alphabet will qualify it, which is E. So we have 3 over 11 multiplied by 2 over 10 multiplied by 1 over 9 equals to 1 over 165. Section 2. Do not include an letter E. So they narrow it down and excluded E. So we have 8 alphabet that is not E. So 8 over 11 times 7 over 10 times 6 over 9, it will be 56 over 165. Question number 3. Include exactly 2 letters that are the same. So it will be both E with not E plus both N with not N. So both E will be 3 over 55 times 8 over 9. Whereby for both N will be 2 over 110 times 9 over 9. So because of the arrangement issue, okay, you will have 3 possible arrangement, hence the 3 I've written down over there. So the final answer, 1 over 5. Question 7 part A. What time does Norma arrive in Hong Kong? So I took 18:45 plus 13:25. Okay, then I add another 6 hours into it. I get a total of 38 hours and 10. So minus it off with 24, you will get it the next day as 14:10. So out of the total journey took you about 13 hours and 25 minutes. Okay, So I changed the 25 minutes into 25 over 60 because they wanted the answer to be in hours. So they wanted you to find the sleeping hours and minutes. So 3 over 7 of 13 hours 25 over 60, okay, will be 3 over 4 hours. So it translates into 5 hours and 45 minutes. Section C number 1, average speeds of this plane will be taking speed equals to distance over time. Distance is 10,712. The time is 13 hours 25 over 60. Okay, do take note that because the unit is in hours, hence all the minutes is required to be adjusted and changed. So your average speed of it will be 798 kilometers per hour. As for part 2, the 10,712 kilometers multiplied by 1,000, okay, because it gave us that 1 liters will be used for every 59 meters travel. So we now have 10,712,000 divided by 59, it should be 182,000. So correct this into standard form, 1.82 times 10 to the power of 5. Whereby for part D, okay, do take note that the 10,148 is the new price, and this is an increase from the original price, which indicates that your original price is actually cheaper. So ori times 118% equals to 10,148. So your original price will actually be 8,600. Question 8, number A, first part is asking you to substitute -3 into x position in function h. So you will get bracket -3 squared plus 5 times -3. So your final answer will be -6. Whereas for part 2, you find the g bracket 13 value first. Substitute 13 into x position in function g, you will get 7 over 13 plus 1, which translates into 1 over 2. You then substitute this 1 over 2 into function h, x position. So we will get 1 over 2 squared plus 5 bracket 1 over 2. Your final answer will be 11 over 4, which translates into 2.75. Section B, so there's a 3-step for this. Step 1 is to change the function they are asking for into y, swap x and y's position, followed by rearranging it to identify the new y. So after the rearrangement, your new y here will be x minus 3 over 4. So your function inverse of f will be x minus 3 over 4. Solve the equation fx equals to 23. So fx equals to 4x plus 3 equals to 23. X after your calculation will be 5. Solve the equation. So this one we will be using the quadratic formula. So hx is actually x squared plus 5x equals to 7. Shift the 7 to the other side, your a will be 1, b is 5, and c is -7. So substitute into its respective a, b, and c's value, you will get 1.14 or -6.14. Question 9. So triangle A to triangle B, this one is actually a reflection from the line x equals to -2. whereby for A to C, this one will be translation with a vector of 6, 2. As for A to D, this one is actually a sphere. However, this has been excluded from the syllabus, hence I didn't include any answer over there. On part B number 1, rotation of triangle A, 6, 0 with a 90-degree clockwise. So I've actually labeled it as A image over there, whereby for 2, keynote here is the scale factor is having a -2, hence it was being enlarged and inverted. So I labeled A double image over there. As for part 3 and part C, this part has been excluded from the syllabus, hence I didn't include any answer over there. Question 16 is actually a sequence question. So section A and section B is the arithmetic sequence. They are the simple ones where the common difference is the same. All you need to do is to find the zero term, then you can construct its equation. So for part A, the common difference here is plus 9, and the zero term is 12 minus 9, which is 3. So combine these two information, you will get 9n plus 3, and the next two terms will be 48 and 57 respectively. Whereby for the part B, the common difference here is -6, and the zero term will be taking 80 plus 6 as 86. So the n term will be -6n plus 86, and the next two terms will be 56 and 50. Part C, this one is actually n to the power of 3. So I listed down the reason and supporting information over there at the bottom. So 1 cube equals to 1, 2 cubes equals to 8, 3 cubes equals to 27, and 4 cubes equals to 64. Hence your n terms is n cubed, and the next two terms will be 125 and 216. Same thing was being done at section D, just that all the answer was added with its n term. So n cubed plus n. To prove my statement, I list down the supporting information at the bottom. N cubed plus 1 equals to 2, n cubed plus 2 equals to 10, n cubed plus 3 equals to 30, 4 cubed plus 4 equals to 68. And for me to get to 130 is actually 5 cubed plus 5 and 222 from 6 cubed plus 6. So this is pretty much it for this paper. I hope you find this helpful. Do share it to your friends that are struggling, and I wish you all the best for your upcoming examination. So thank you.